Yo, welcome to the Man to Man Pod. We back. Thursday, August 26th. A lot going on in the NFL landscape right now. We got a lot of COVID situations going on. Well, not a lot, but a few. I feel like a few examples are being made out of some of the unvaccinated players. Cam Newton, Cole Beasley. I think I saw some with Isaiah Mckenzie posting his fine today from the Bills, which, they made the protocols clear. So, got to abide by. Speaking of COVID, my man Pat is dealing with our COVID right now. He's been keeping us updated on the gram. So definitely T's and P's to Pat and everybody else out there affected and dealing with this crazy pandemic. Hey, B, you good?
I'm good. What's good?
Are we good over there?
Good money.
I can't hear you for some reason. Hey, hold on. It might be me, though. I need to make sure my fundamentals on point.
You can hear me?
How's it sound? Sound on point? Hey, B.
It's a little choppy on my end, but how can
okay.
Am I good?
Yeah, you good. You good. So I just see somebody's breaking this. Couple people, so it might be accurate, but now Tannehill has been put on the COVID list. I want to say I saw he was fully vaccinated, so maybe he caught the COVID. I'm not sure, but I know I saw him talking about it. So welcome back, man. One half of the Man to Man Pod. Darius Butler got my co-host AB.
What's good?
We here, man. So the quarterback, the COVID situation out in New England, man. I know it kind of broke the last time we were on here on Monday. How you feel about it now, man? You feel like it's kind of, the picture they're trying to paint is Mac Jones and he's doing this, and Belichick is high five and he's taking laps. We're getting a play-by-play out there in New England. What's your thoughts and feelings on that situation out there?
Man, I think that situation's tough, man. I think that's going to be the one that's gonna go down to the wire. I think Cam, he gets back to practice today. And obviously,
Oh no. I will get AB back. But all right, there we go. Boom.
Yeah, my fault.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
So I think that's the one that's going to go down to the wire, man. Cam gets back today. They said Mac Jones been out there balling. So, reports said that, Belichick, he said it. The best ability is the availability. So with Cam not being able to be at practice them days, man, that was an opportunity for Mac Jones to show and do his thing, man. So I think Cam got to come out, man, and have a good showing. Not sure what they're going to do this third preseason game, but whatever the case may be, man, I think this is going to be the quarterback battle that kind of goes down closer to week one.
Yeah, man. It just sucks because that last game, Cam looked good, man. Mac looked good too, but obviously Cam looked really, really sharp. Not only because I don't really look at the numbers as much as I think actually watching the game. You watch the game, you watch your players, and you kind of go from there. But so seeing him throw in the pocket, seeing him move and navigate the field how he was doing last week, it was disappointing he had to miss this time. And like you said, like we always say on this show, availability is always your best ability. Hey, be out there dealing with that spectrum life. Your availability is your best ability in the league, and that's true. Whether that's obviously injury, COVID, and they're making the protocols much more strenuous on the unvaccinated players. And some people don't agree with that. Some people do agree with it. Whichever side you want, it honestly doesn't matter because I guess the rules are the rules, and they're gonna make you abide by them. But from the cases that I've been seeing within the NFL, for some reason, I feel like it's around 50-50, with people that are actually contracting COVID amongst the people that are contracting. It's been, kind of right down the middle on vaccinated and unvaccinated. So, and that's the ones we're hearing about. And obviously, I feel like you don't hear about it as much when a player or a coach is fully vaccinated. So, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. I think those players are going to have to deal with that all year until they eventually say, you know, F it, I'm going to just get this, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get the jab. But, you know, it's kind of part of it right now. And I think maybe it's just hard for me to just really fully believe like all this just happened, you know, by accident, Jackson. Because, you know, these teams, these organizations, especially that one, they don't miss much. And kind of haven't heard anything from the PA from their end. So it's interesting. But I still think out in New England, they go with Cam to start the season. And obviously that's, you know, it's a small margin for error for Cam when you draft a quarterback in the first round. You're on a 1-year deal. That's just football. That's just how the business is. And obviously Cam knows that. He's been around this business for a long time. He's been a first-round pick. He's been a number 1 pick and been a franchise quarterback. So he knows the type of pressures that come with that position. But I think he'll be fine and he'll ball out this year. And then they'll have to make a decision at the end of this year. But I think eventually Cam balls out and goes on and plays and starts somewhere else. And I think, obviously, with the Patriots taking Cam in the first round, Mac McCorkle-Jones in the first round, obviously they have plans on him being the future quarterback. And he's looking the part. And, you know, part of this game, part of life is about taking advantage of your opportunities, regardless of how they come about. You know, sometimes, you know, I've gotten starts. I've gotten to play. I got signed to the Colts because of injuries. In the situation that they were in, I got my opportunity and then took it and ran with it. And, you know, I made the best of my opportunity. And after that, you know, they had to make some decisions with some other players and they had to move on. So that's just a part of the business. And, you know, I'm definitely not rooting against Mac Jones. It's good that he's taking advantage of his reps, of his opportunities. And as a football player, as a professional, you want to make it hard for that coach or that boss or that decision maker to go back to another guy. I mean, when Cam gets back in there today, like they got to look at Cam and be like, okay, this is our starting quarterback. And a lot of things that Cam does, honestly, you won't see until actual game day. You know, he scored 10 touchdowns on the ground last year, I believe. And, you know, obviously the passing game was deficient. The weapons looked terrible. Cam didn't look healthy to me throwing the ball. But all those things look better going into this season. So unfortunate news for the rest of the NFL. But I think the Patriots are going to be all right, man. But okay, Belichick, the Funk says Belichick said Cam didn't violate rules. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's something going on there. We got a situation out with Cole Beasley. I think he was in contact with a trainer that was fully vaccinated that caught COVID. And he's been tested negative, but he had to kind of abide by the same protocols, stand away from the facility for 5 days. Isaiah Mckenzie, which is another young wide receiver out there, he posted his fine letter, I believe, you know, with his personal email on there. Not a good move. But they fined him 14 bands, $14,000 for being caught. Based off the letter, looks like on camera, you know, in a couple of different instances without his mask on. So, you know, they're going to keep applying this pressure, and regardless of where you stand on the, you know, vaccine and where it's at, it did get fully FDA approved. I know that was a holdup for a lot of people. But yeah, that'll be something we're talking about probably all season long. But yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of interesting things going on, but that's definitely going to be factored in. And if you're thinking about it and I try to come to these situations as objective as possible. So if I'm thinking at it from the front office or the coach's standpoint, like, you know, that does factor into play when you're thinking about who's going to be there, the game plan, other variables of fact, because obviously injuries always play into it, but other things, and that's another variable that's thrown in the mix. So we're gonna have to deal with it, man. But we did have what I thought was interesting, a couple of vaccinated players saying that we need to do more testing because I believe they're only tested once every 2 weeks. So we gonna see, man. AB still over there struggling, man, with the spectrum. But yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. So that's the quarterback battle going on out in New England. You got another quarterback battle that hasn't really been decided yet, publicly at least. But out there in San Francisco, with Trey Lance and Jimmy G. I've been saying from the jump that I think they should go with Jimmy G out of the gate. And you don't really play a rookie quarterback unless, in my opinion, that's clearly the better option right now from day one. Or you have to. You're kind of in a situation where you have to. And I don't think that's the case out there in San Fran. You got a roster that can make a run to a title. They were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago with Jimmy G at quarterback. His biggest issue is staying healthy. And, he's not going to give you that dynamic, wild Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes type play. He's going to bore you with completions and doing the right thing. But so I think you start with Jimmy G and then you put Trey Lance in there, when it's time. And Jimmy G speaking in the presser yesterday, he said he had a good idea of who Kyle Shanahan was going to name the starter. And he had a big grin on his face. So I'm assuming that he's been told he's going to be QB1 heading into the season. So I think that's the right decision out there for them. Out in Chicago, I think they should go with Justin Fields, but they've made it clear from day one, since they signed Andy Dalton in free agency that, hey, you're going to be QB1 going into this season. And they lucked up and got Justin Fields, as we all know at this point, at 11. He's looked, really he's had some really good flashes in preseason thus far. And a lot of the people around the NFL are saying, hey, you should start Justin Fields from day one. But Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, and the Chicago Bears have decided Andy Dalton will be QB1. And once again, I'm not rooting against anybody. I just don't see where this makes sense. And I say those guys in Chicago on the hot seat. A lot of people don't agree with me, but it's been they already messed up the situation with drafting Mitch Trubisky at 2 over Deshaun Watson, over Pat Mahomes. That's well documented. And then the Mitch Trubisky project was a failure. And now he's in Buffalo, and he just came and trimmed up your starting defense. So he's looking like, it wasn't him, being a major issue, that it could have been a combination of Nagy, which I would agree with. But, man, hold on, we got AB back. Uh-oh, he might have hopped in one of the Batmobiles. They got the Wi-Fi. Yo!
Yeah, we back. You can hear me?
We back. We back, man. You might as well set up the stew and the whip, man. Go ahead.
Man, might as well.
Go ahead, Copper Sprinter, set it up out there, because Spectrum, man, doing you greasy.
Yeah, man. If anybody in the higher ups in here work with Spectrum, y'all some shit.
Go ahead, Adam, man. But yeah, I finished up talking about the New England situation, moved over to the San Fran situation. Jimmy G pretty much all but said with his facial expression yesterday that Kyle told him he's going to be QB1. So I'll be shocked if Trey Lance is named to start over there. But in Chicago, they obviously named Dalton the starter. Trevor Lawrence, he won his fierce QB competition down there in Jacksonville. And then Teddy Two Gloves, he was named to start out in Denver, which that was kind of like the closest. It looked like the closest race from the outside looking in, at least. Any of these QB1s surprise you?
Nah, not at all. If we kind of go back to our last episode, I think we kind of been on point. Well, I can speak for myself. I think I've been on point with the QB1s going into week 1. Up to this point, obviously, as we discussed earlier, the Cam and Mac Jones. I think that's going to go down to the wire. But, I think, I kind of thought this was going to shake out how it's shaking out at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about Vic Bennett. We both talked about Vic Bennett, defensive head coach, and being more comfortable with a quarterback that takes care of the ball and not going to put you in those bad situations. That's what you're going to get with Teddy B. And it's not like, and I think, Teddy, he can be more than a game manager. I think he can be a quarterback that can go out there and win it. He was in a lot of close games last year down there in Carolina. He came and spoke out a little bit about the process and a lot of things that he didn't, wasn't a fan of as far as preparation going into games, not practicing 2-minute things like that. Robbie Anderson did get his first 1,000-yard season with Teddy. So with these young receivers out there, especially Judy, got KJ, you got who's the deep ball guy? I always forget his name. But how do those receivers look now that QB1 is established out there in Denver? You looking to grab? I need to get a little insight. You looking to grab any of those receivers in fantasy?
If I would, I think it would be Judy. Because I think you still have is Sutherland. He's still out there.
It's about to pull it up right now.
But I mean, I like Jerry Jeudy, and I think like you said, I think you hit it on the head where you got Vic Fangio. He's a big defensive guy, right? So he can lean on his defense. He got Vaughn coming back. You got Justin Simmons, man. So you have a quality defense where you can kind of lean on your defense, and having Teddy two gloves out there where you say he's not going to turn the ball over. But then I think while it's kept, I think Denver, they can do some things out there on the offensive side of the ball. So giving Teddy the go ahead, the nod, I think it was a good decision for the Broncos and Vic Fangio out there. But
I think it was too, man.
But on the receiver side, though, you seen my receiver room. I'm Gucci.
No. I'm just saying, we do, because we got some other drafts coming up. So I need to, get a little peek into your what you're thinking. But Tim Patrick that's the deep ball guy out there, 81 that I was thinking about. But Jerry Jeudy, they got KJ Hamler out there. They got the tight end Noah Fant. And then Cortland Sutton, that's what you were talking about?
Cortland Sutton, yeah.
Cortland
Sutton. Noah
he's
Fant.
still out there.
I don't think they talk about Noah Fant as much as they should.
They don't. They got Javonte Williams back there, running back. So they got some weapons on offense, and more about Vic Fangio than I do. But from the outside looking in, he always puts out quality defenses. And you went and you invested your first top 10 pick with Pat Surtain out there corner. You went and got Kyle Fuller in free agency or a trade, I believe. I forgot how they got him. And then you got one of the best, safety combos back there with Simmons and Kareem Jackson. So Von Miller back healthy. He got a little chip on his shoulder. There was some talk about moving possibly on from him. Bradley Chubb. So they could do some things out there in Denver, quiet as kept.
Yeah, that defense is gonna be good. I know for sure that defense is going to be good. I just think it's going to be the offense, see what the offense can do. But again, like I said, I think they're going to lean on that defense heavy this year. So we'll see.
All right, so moving on. Jacksonville, in the division. Obviously, I think it was pretty obvious that they were going to name Trevor Lawrence. Actually, you know what? I have been seeing some conversation. I want to ask you how you feel about this too. Some people talking heads, former players too. I'm hearing a lot more of the conversation like, hey, I don't know if I'll put this quarterback out there with this offensive line or this play call or this, that, and the third. Want to protect him and not this, that, and the third. How do you feel about that, especially when you talk about a number one overall pick?
So this, and I've been saying this, right? So regardless of where you're picked, right? Throwing a young guy out there in the fire, that could do a lot good and bad for a young player's career, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, when we talking about a quarterback, we only giving quarterbacks 2 to 3 years nowadays, You
already trying to write two off.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel as though they threw him in the fire too early. You know what I'm saying? And you look at Daniel Jones in New York. You know, year 3 for him. It's a pivotal year for him. So, Trevor Lawrence going out there, and I think the Travis NTNA. So he's out for the season with a foot injury.
Yeah, he got his front.
So you gotta be wary about how you treat these young quarterbacks, these young players. I get it, first overall pick, they throw them in there, we're gonna live with it. We're gonna live with the good, we're gonna live with the bad. But I never seen anything wrong with a young quarterback coming in and sitting for a couple weeks. I never thought anything was wrong with that. But everybody has their opinion on that. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of the game right now. We got to get this guy in here. I mean, your other option is Gardner Minshew, who won 1 game last year against our coach. I believe maybe in the opener. It might have been the first game of the year, actually. So they went 1-15 with Gardner. And Gardner, I think he's a great backup to have on your team if your starter goes down for a couple weeks or half a season or something. I think that's a good backup quarterback situation to have. But if you have the number 1 pick for a reason. You built more capital around him. You went out, got guys at free agency. You brought your own new coaching staff in. This your first year as a rookie head coach, Urban Meyer. Man, you better put that young boy in the fire early. Okay. And this is the most polished pick since Andrew Luck, right? And now we talking about protecting him. Like, come on, man.
Prime example last year, Joe Burrow. No protection.
I mean, that's so you're supposed to just sit him on the bench?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying sit him on the bench. But I'm saying that if you know he's your number 1 pick, and he's going to be in your organization for X amount of years. For X amount of years, you're my future. You know what I'm saying? Why throw him in the fire right now? I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm just being a hypothetical question. Why not let him sit behind a guy for maybe 6 games, 7 games with a guy Gardner who got some reps last year? Like you say, he's a pretty decent quarterback.
Nah. And if you're in a situation like San Fran with Trey Lance and he's coming off a year where he missed and he played against FCS competition, and you have a guy in front of him who can win games on a consistent basis in the league, you sit him and you let him learn. Same situation with Pat Mahomes having Alex Smith out there. But when you got a 1-win Gardner Minshew, you got Andy Dalton, who look, the only thing I remember from him playing last year was his O-line not helping him up when he was getting murdered behind the banged up Cowboys line. So if those are your options, put the young guy in at that point. Like you're gonna learn about fire. You're gonna get hit. You gotta learn how to get rid of the ball. The play caller got to get the ball out of your hands. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, these guys have athletic ability to get out of certain situations. So you gotta get out there and learn, man. We watched Andrew Luck get beat to shit. And part of that was on the O-line. Part of that was also on Andrew Luck not, throwing the ball away, going in there and trying to tackle guys like a linebacker on pick. So part of it was on him too. So these players got to learn early. Like, hey, I am supposed to be the face of this franchise going forward. Part of it's on me, and part of it's on these coaches. That's what everybody get paid the big bucks for.
I get that. But sometimes I just feel as though you got to just be smart with it. Like, like I just mentioned, we give him quarterbacks 2 to 3 years, and you go out there and throw him out there his first year, not knowing what type of composure he may have or how he can handle certain situations. Shit, you hurt the young man's career off top. You know what I'm saying? So
this is a hell of a question. Like I said,
you can look at it. You can look at it 2 different ways. You know what I mean? And I don't think either way is wrong, in my opinion. It's just about how you see the situation.
Yeah, I feel you. Y'all better come in with some mental toughness. I know you came in with a lot of mental toughness, so it's a good question from Javier B. Damn, were coaches worried about y'all confidence?
So again, you don't know. Like you don't know.
No, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about. Did you feel like, because you played as a rookie the expectations were high. It wasn't like you went to the Jags or somewhere where they just expected, whatever. We want to win a few games, 6-7 games when it's a win for us. Like you came into a situation, Super Bowl aspirations, and you actually went on to win a Super Bowl. So how did your coaches feel putting you in there? They worried about your confidence if you gave up a touchdown or got ran over some shit?
Obviously, they were confident enough to put me in the starting lineup. But as we know as players, what they tell us in the meet room, when the players in there, they could be saying something totally different when they in the coaches meeting. You know what I'm saying? They could be like, well, shit, I know, we putting a rook out there, we can just cross our fingers. So if they saying that, it's not too much confidence, if they saying that. But again, you don't know. It just depends on the different situations. I would say I would think they were confident enough in me to put me in the starting lineup. And, we had Mike Dawes, who was going into his 4th year at that time, who also was playing the position. So I would think they had confidence in me. But again, you never know, just depending on what that situation may be.
Yeah, because I just feel like it is. I don't know. A lot of people y'all getting real sensitive with these quarterbacks, man. Y'all getting real sensitive, and they get paid way too much money.
I don't even think it's a sensitive. I'm not being sensitive. I don't think. You know what I mean? I'm just being truthful and being honest. Like, just because a guy #1 pick, we throwing him in there regardless. Like, nah. Like, he got a learning curve too.
Yeah, I mean, we thought this the best. I mean, if you take a corner #7 overall, you take, like, nobody's thinking about Pat Surtain or J.C. Horn, 8, 9 overall picks.
But,
like, we know they're in the fire. We know they're in the fire week 1, and they might be matched up with Julio Jones or whoever that #1 receiver is. Like, nobody go, oh shit, I don't want Pat Surtain to get burnt the first 2 weeks unless confidence.
Now you might have a 1st-round corner who might potentially can come in and he might just be playing nickel. Might be playing special teams. So again, that's him getting his feet wet.
I can't think of one. I can't think of one of them. You taking the corner up in the top half of the draft, top half of the 1st round, and you coming in playing gunner? I can't. Your ass out there. Marshawn Lattimore out there. Who was Denzel Ward out there?
And what Denzel Ward do?
Ball. He had his struggles. We all gonna struggle. That's part of learning.
Exactly. So at the quarterback position, bro, I get it. You pick, you the #1 pick. I get it. And I just think we're going off of what history has shown. Like, forget history. Like, if you're the #1 pick and you ain't ready, like, why am I rushing to throw you in there? If I know you're gonna be in our organization for 4 years, 5 years.
I mean, because you're still the best. You're still the best option for like as a head football coach or a GM as a whatever. You decide, right now? Bro. You got a quarterback that won 1 game last year. Like, I mean, that's an easy decision for me. I can see a quarterback. I can see if he went 5-11, if he gave me something. You got 1 game, bro.
So is he that much better than Gardner Minshew?
Maybe not right now. Obviously, Urban didn't name him starter from jump, so maybe it's a battle, but he won it. If you're a young guy with the future, that's going to be the future of the franchise, and you win that battle, I'm not. It's no reason to wait. I gotta, like, come on now. What we doing? What we doing? And if you're a player in that locker room, well, I mean, you'll have a better sense of it because you're practicing against them. But I'm just saying, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Denzel Ward was a legitimate Pro Bowler his first year. Ward was nice. He was nice. He went 4 overall. Jeff Okudah went 3 overall last year at the corner position out there in Detroit, and it looked bad. And it looked bad because of, I think, his surround, the pass rush and thing. He played at Matt Patricia type scheme. So it was rough on him. And I'm sure that wasn't great for his confidence, but shit, nobody, we not. Come on, what are we doing here, man? You got your ass burnt up out there, year 1. Get back to the drawing board, get back out and show why you was, #3 pick. He may bounce back this year. We'll see.
We gonna see.
We'll see. But yeah, man, y'all sensitive, man. Let's talk about some of these. Let's start with AFC South, man. So these, Tone not in here. So these are the win totals right now for the AFC South. 8.5 for the Colts, 9 Tennessee, 6.5 for the Jags, and 4 for the Texans. Where you at? Let's start with the Texans. 4 wins, 17 games. Now remember that. You taking the over the under on that one?
I got the over on that one.
Is that just because of you feel like Todd Taylor he's gonna win more than 4 games?
That's my guy. Yep. I got the over on that.
4. Gonna play Jacksonville twice. At least I'm gonna go with the over too. I'm gonna go with the over on that. I go with the over on that. Jacksonville 6.5.
Under.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Under? Easy under for you? Damn, I hate agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Under.
All right, Tennessee, 9 wins.
Over.
I'm taking the over as well. That team, yeah, I'm taking the over as well because they got better on offense, obviously, with Julio. But then defensively, they went out and got Farley out of Virginia Tech, who wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for that back injury. So if that back injury is good, once again, top flight corner, he gonna be out there day one. The Jack Rabbit went out there too, I believe.
Yeah, Jack Rabbit in Tennessee.
Yep. Bud Dupree signed Bud Dupree in free agency to show up that front end. Got Kevin Byard back there in the back end too. I'm gonna take the over on that one too. And then Colts 8.5. I'm taking the over on that as well.
Yeah, got the over on the Colts as well.
Damn.
That's
okay, so the 8.5.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. And I even think the 9 for Tennessee is disrespectful too.
I thought when just looking at it, I thought it was kind of low too. 9 games, I thought it was kind of low too. But yeah, so we got over on the Colts 8.5. Both of us agree over on the Titans 9. Under on the Jacksonville 6.5. I think they end up right at 6, probably like 6 and 11, 5 and 12, something like that. And then we both got over with the Texans with 4 games. You think Deshaun play this year?
Nah.
Yes, it's
nah.
looking.
Nah, I think so. I think he'll play second half of the season.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking he may sit out the first 8. But
yeah.
We'll see. It's a situation that's unfolding. Let's go to the NFC South. We went through that pretty quick. NFC South. Start with the Falcons. Still got Matt Ryan now. Obviously added Kyle Pitts. Calvin Ridley is wide receiver 1 now. Head coach Arthur Smith, new head coach.
That's 7.5. I'm gonna go under.
Under 7.5 for the Falcons. I'm going. They lost a lot of one. They lost some players who they lose in the second year. I'm gonna go over now. I'm gonna go over with Atlanta. I'm going over 7.5 with Atlanta. Carolina Panthers.
I'm going over.
I'm going under with the Panthers. I'm gonna leave them right at 7. Damn, 7 and 10. That's thing. I'm leaving right at 7, man. I don't believe in saying like that.
Yeah, but you got C-Mac coming back. Robbie Anderson, their defense. They showed up their defense. They got some dogs on the defensive side of the ball. Chin,
when drafted JC, Jeremy Chin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over for the Carolina Panthers.
I'm under that 7. Yeah, that hook right there. I'm gonna stay at 7. I'm gonna keep them at 7. Got the Saints. Saints had 9 games right now. I think we know Jameis is gonna be QB1.
I got an over for them.
I'm with you. They win 10 games. They win 10 or 11 games with Jameis at quarterback.
I got an over for them.
And then 11.5.
And shit, I got over for the Bucks.
11.5 for the Bucks. I feel like you can almost lock them for 13. once again, if Tom stays healthy, I can see them 13-4. It's hard for me to find a hole in that in that team. You know, the defense on point, offense on point, special teams. You got all the continuity in the leadership position and all the positions coming back. Like, barring injury, it's just hard for me to bet for that team. So, Bucks over 11.5, Saints over 9. For me, Panthers under 7.5. AB got the Panthers over 7.5. And then I think we both went the Falcons over 7.5, right?
Nah, I said under.
You said under. Okay, I got them over. I got them at 8 or 9.
It's gonna be rough for ATL this year, baby. It's gonna be rough for them.
Yeah, but these numbers is Saints. Y'all got some wild fans. Rich Dizzy. Saints gonna win 5 straight division titles. Okay. Post LASIK Jameis.
Hey, Jameis out there, he look good, man.
He might.
The Saints, Jameis look good out there with the Saints.
I like the Saints defense as well. Hey, Nakiba, you've been talking about Callaway too for a while. He showed his ass last game. He showed his ass. Yeah, man. But I got to jump out of here. Dang. Got to jump out of here a little early. But
what else we got, man?
We pretty much hit on most. Make sure y'all go hit that underdog fantasy. Sign up, use the code MAN, M-A-N, get that free 25 on your first deposit. We're gonna be doing underdog fantasy giveaways and drafts and all type of fantasy stuff all year long. I'm trying to get in AB's head and see how he drafts. And take a quick look at these top 10 receivers by average draft position. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Diggs, Ridley, Hopkins, Metcalf, A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Keenan Allen.
Dang, I ain't got my man Amari Cooper up there?
Nah, hell no. Nah, CeeDee Lamb, he's going to be wide receiver 1 out there. I like Coop, though. And then the tight ends, we know how you feel about Travis Kelce. You took a number 2 overall in our first draft. Darren Waller, George Kittle, Kyle Pitts, my guy, Mark Andrews, T.J. Hockenson, Logan Thomas. Hi. Dallas Goedert, Tyler Higbee. I know you liked him. Then Noah Fant down there in Denver. So okay. I gotta get at least 2 tight ends.
You gotta get you at least three tight ends, man, next draft.
At least 2. All I need is 2. I'm running back heavy. I'm running back heavy.
You gotta get at least 3.
I'm
you can't be in the draft with 1 tight end.
Don't worry about what I got going over here.
I'm out here pubbing you to be in some GM talk.
Don't worry about that. Hey, don't worry about what I got going on.
You draft 1 tight end.
But shoot, man, you want me to leave any of the brands up or you good?
Say it again?
Want me to leave anything up? I'm about to jump out of here.
Nah, I can't even see none of the brands for real.
But I know we got G.I. Joe asked a question. How do OC scripts affect defenses?
If you got a good defense, you don't let an OC script affect your defense. Obviously you have some OCs that, they script their first 15 plays, and we was always taught, we're going to do what we do, and we just kind of weather that storm in the first 15. But after that 15, you kind of know as a defense how that offense is going to try to attack you for the day. So if you come out those first 15 and defense is playing well, a lot of times you're going to have you probably have a great day. But if it's one or 2 plays that, the offense hit you in those first 15, you best believe you're gonna see those plays throughout the game. Now, they might get to it in different ways. They might do it in different type formations where you might have 11 personnel, one back, one tight end, and you'll run the same play, or it might be 12 personnel, one back, two tight ends, and get to it in different ways. You might have a motion, so it's always good to have a defense being able to be able to see these things. But if you have a good defense, a great defense, honestly, like your OC script is not going to matter. For real. I'll throw some more questions in here. D-Butt has to get up out of here. Shout out my man Pat dealing with that COVID, man. Get better. Rich Dizzy, when we gonna get the Jags mascot on the show? Man, that dude full of shit. Full of it, man. That boy, he was talking a good one though. He definitely got some good ratings for that pod. Got some views, got some likes. Thomas, this AB Pack got pretty upset with his chat. How are you feeling about your chat? What chat you talking about? AB, do you call the defensive strength to the field or formation? It just depends. It depends on the most of the time you'll call it to your tight end. So it's different though. Like, so your front, the strength could be to the tight end. To the secondary, depending on the call, your strength could be to the passing strength. So wherever the most receivers are. So it just depends on different calls. It comes for different things. Where you might have a call where the blitz is coming from the field. So that particular call, you'll set the strength to the field, so everybody knows that the blitz is coming from the field. So again, it's a lot that kind of goes into it, depending on the blitz, depending on the call. You know, the middle linebacker might set the front, so the defensive line could set to the run strength, but the secondary, we could be rotating to the passing strength. So it's a lot of different ways that you can call the strength. Man, I chat, Thomas, I chat is cool, man. And like I always tell people, man, we gonna treat this chat like the locker room. So, you know, if you can't take it, don't dish it, because we reading these comments. So, you know, myself, D-Buck, we gonna get back at you. Oh, John Jay, I'm you still got that bullseye on your back when I see you. Mike Ward, what do you do if you know the coordinator has the wrong defensive formation for the play? It kind of depends on the relationship that you have with that D coordinator. I know when we was in AZ, not saying it was good, but we would change the call sometime, you know, and but we had a veteran defense. So when we went to the sideline, you know, we explained to the D coordinator, hey, look, this is what we saw. You know, obviously, I think he felt some type of way about it, but he understood. You know, he had a lot of veteran guys out there. I don't know about other places, but prime example, Green Bay game, playoffs game. You know, right before the half, whatever was called. If I'm in that huddle, I'm telling everybody just back up. Like, if it's a cover one, if it's a cover three, whatever the case may be, I'm changing that call. So, I mean, and as a vet, you know, you have to take that on the chin when you get to the sideline or the locker room. G.I. Joe 317, when Aaron Rodgers says he reads the defensive line rather than finding and reading the mic. How can you adjust that to make it harder to read? Stemming, right? So what we call stemming is show the quarterback one thing, but once he get into his cadence or once the play clock kind of dies down, move, to make him have indecision, make the offensive line have indecision. So I think all quarterbacks kind of read different things. So some might read the linebackers, right? Some might read the secondary, just as far as how are they rotating, right? So just asking Peyton some questions, and he was like, he'll watch film and he'll always pick one guy out, where that one guy is always the tell. That one guy is going to tell you what the defense is going to be, right? So the safety, he might show it too early. He might come down in the box too early. Or he might leave. He might be disguising in the box, and then he might be trying to get out into his coverage, right? Or you might have a linebacker who always just stands in his gap, right? So as a defensive captain, I always tell the guys, look, we have to move around, right? We have to move around. We just can't be stagnant and be statues on the defense. We got to give the offense and the quarterback two different reads. We have to give them a look pre-snap, and we have to give them some post-snap. So with, A-Rod looking at the defensive line, we would tell them, hey, look, you guys try to move around, but at the end of the day, you got to be in your spot to be able to do your job effectively. AB, when the funk. AB, when are you going to get involved in more football shit? Need guys like you around the league or NCAA, man. I might got something coming up, man. I had a phone call yesterday, but I'd love to get into the into more football stuff, man. And actually, I am. It's just not out on Front Street. Being able to highlight guys and talk to guys about different things. But I might have some things coming up this season. Might not be on the pro level, man, but I got some things in the works. Athletes Unplugged, man. Hey, shout out to my guy, DeQuell Jackson, man. Just started his podcast. He's a alum of the Man to Man pod, man. So shout out to him, Athletes Unplugged, man. Y'all tap into to DeQuell's podcast. Better feeling, sack or INT? For me, definitely INT. No question. Man, if I had Mr. Scampers, where would you like to live if you had to move out of the States, man? I'm going straight to Dubai. That's where I'm going. No question. Mike Ward, players have to play all day, every day. D coordinator, offensive coordinator can draw the best play up in the dirt. But if the players can't execute it, man, it's no good. Now, Kiba, man, be on the lookout. HBCU games that are on ESPN, I think that would be awesome. Just be on the lookout. Got some things coming up. Definitely gonna give my HBCU fam some love. As a corner, the Funk as a corner, he never got a sack. The Funk, where do you play ball at? How many picks did you have? Let me see if you was a baller or not. But man, I'm ready for this year though. I'm ready for this year. I'm ready for the Colts, man. I was out there at Colts practice on Tuesday. Was excited to see, Carson Wentz out there moving around, Quentin Nelson out there moving around. Defense look good, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for them boys. Michael Ward, my favorite team to play for was the Colts, for sure. It was a team that brought me into the league, that drafted me. I think the camaraderie that the guys had was unmatched. The leadership was unmatched from top to bottom, from owner to the coaches to the to the vets in the locker room. And it was really a true family feel. You know, I think a lot of teams, they preach that, they talk it, but they don't really walk it, man. I think the coach, man, that was a A1 organization, man. A1 organization when Bill Polian and Coach Dungy, and even when Coach Caldwell got there, A1, man. So utmost respect to the coach, man, and by far the most fun that I had. Thomas, did Wentz really have foot surgery or was it something else? Hey, man, I was saying the same thing. I'm like, man, for him to have foot surgery and then, you know, the diagnosis was 5 to 12 weeks. I think this is like week 3, and the way he's moving, and I'm not sure, you know, if they're showing this after practice or not, but just the way he's moving, even Quentin Nelson, man, just to go to show, man, hats off to the surgeons, to Carson Wentz, to Quentin Nelson, even get back out there into the coach training staff to have them out there ready. And I think both of them going to be ready for week 1. The Funk, how the hell did they find you at Howard? Any connects? Man, funny story how I got to Howard. The head coach there, Ray Petty, I was part of his first recruiting class at Howard. That was his second stint at Howard University. Before his second stint at Howard University, he was at Norfolk State in Norfolk, Virginia, and he would come to my football games. He would come to my basketball games. I was like, man, he's you know, told my head coach at the time, AC Cawthorn, he's a hell of a basketball player. Him and my head coach at the high school at the time, they coached at Howard at his previous stint. And my head coach was like, look, man, he's small, but he can play ball. He can play football. I know he plays linebacker, but, you know, we can move him to safety. I think he'll be all right. So I ended up going to Howard on my visit. I was damn near like a preferred walk-on. They really didn't have much money left at the time when Coach Petty had got the job. And the rest is history, man. Okami, how effective do you think T.O. would be if he came back to the league? Look at here. T.O. looks good to be like 40-some years old, but I don't think he would be as effective as he think he would be. Not taking anything away, but it's different. It's different. Like I said, he can still run. He still, you know, he looks the part, but it's just a little different. John Jay, more calm under pressure. Dungy or Caldwell, man, it was tough, man. They were both calm under pressure. Never really seen them rattle in any type situation. As we know, you know, we all know, you know, Coach Dungy and just the type of guy he is, Christian man, family man, and he is. And I would say, you know, the 2-14 season we had when Peyton got hurt and Coach Caldwell was a coach, I would say that might have been one of the funnest seasons that we had, right? So at some point in the year, it's like, okay, you're 0-8, you're not going to the playoffs, but you know, you could have some coaches that could just be an a-hole coming into the building, but Coach Caldwell, he never wavered. You know, the same thing he was preaching at OTAs and training camp, he was doing the same thing, and guys were still coming in, playing hard for him, and we stuck together, man. So just in that situation, in that sense, man, you can just tell the type of character Coach Caldwell had. G.I. Joe 317, when did you first hear or know about HBCUs, man? Where I'm from in Newport News, Virginia, there's HBCUs all around us, right? So we got Hampton University, we got Norfolk State University, we got Virginia Union, we got Virginia State. So that's just in my state of Virginia. So in high school, we used to travel and visit these colleges. And then my oldest brother, He ended up going to Delaware State for his freshman and sophomore year. So I kind of, I knew about HBCUs. So I'm gonna take a couple more questions, man, then get up out of here. Who caught your eye? Coach practice, offense and defense. Van Albright. My young boy JT, man. JT look good out there. Just look like he's confident, running the rock. So I'm excited to see what type of year that he's gonna have. I think he'd have like a all-pro caliber type year. I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Javier B, did I always have that 4-1? Nah. High school I was 4. In college I was 2. And when I got drafted, it was either 41 or 47. I'd be damned if I wear 47. So I got the 41, man, and when I made the team, I said, look, I'm gonna just rock with it. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna make it something. I think I did all right. Zach, will Pittman have more than 12 receiving yards this year? No doubt, man. It's gonna be a breakout year for the young boy. Hey, Michael Ward, pause. You ever get on the mic, you sound like Chisholm. Nah, man. I told D-Butt, though, I count down. I think I could do something with that beat. So I'm going to surprise y'all one day. I'm going to give y'all like a hot 16. I'm going to leave something. And then I'm going to drop my LP. But look at here, man. I'm about to get out of here. Much love. Appreciate y'all tapping in as always. You know what time it is, 12 o'clock, man. So y'all go check out. I know Pat down in the studio, but y'all go check them boys out, man. And as always, tell a friend and tell a friend. We'll check y'all out on Monday. Peace.